So I want to introduce a concept. I'm going to play a C major triad. It has 3 notes, 1, 2, 3. And I want you to imagine that each of these notes is being performed by a singer. Soprano, alto and tenor. Now we want to go from a chord of C major to G major, but we want to make it as easy as possible for the singers. To do that, we want them to move the shortest distance possible. Now let us think of what notes are in a chord of G major. They are G, B, D. Notice that there is one note in common, the G. When I start in this position, the G is in the soprano part. So I'm going to try and keep it in the soprano part. Meanwhile, the alto and the tenor are going to move down one note to complete the G major chord. And to go back to C, the soprano is going to stay on the common tone G, and the alto and tenor are going to move back up. So just practice and play around moving between these two positions. Now let's apply the same logic that we saw in the last video, but let's start from a different position. In the last video I started from this position with a C major chord with the C on the bottom. Now I want you to take this C and put it up an octave. Now let's imagine that these are 3 singers. The C is taken by the soprano, the alto has the G, and the tenor has the E. Now it is the alto that has the common tone G. So when we move to a chord of G major, the alto is going to stay on G, and it's going to be the soprano and the tenor that move down by step. And to get back, we do the opposite. So again, just try this pattern. There is one more starting position that we can use. We started here to begin with, and then we lifted that C up an octave. Let's do that procedure once more, and now let's take the E and put that up an octave. Now the soprano is playing E or singing E, the alto has C, and the tenor has G. So now it is the tenor that has the common tone, and the soprano and alto move by step. So let's now practice that a couple of times. Because we think of these different lines as voices, we think of these movements as what is called voice leading. And the aim is to make the voice leading smooth. Smooth voice leading moves by small distances, whereas angular voice leading moves by leaps. And generally we want to move in smooth voice leading. Let's take a moment to try out those 3 positions one after the other. last thing to do is to add the left hand. If the left hand is a singer, then it is the bass. And in this pattern, whenever we play a chord of C major, the bass is going to play the root of the chord, which is the letter name of the chord, which is C. And when we go to G major, the bass is going to play a G. So for now, the bass always plays the letter name of the chord, and the letter name is the root of the chord. So the whole pattern looks like this. In this memorization assignment, we practice all 3 starting positions in all 12 keys. For this memorization assignment, we do exactly the same pattern, but we do it in the minor.